In this video, I will be showing you how you could create a fun clicker game in Scratch with upgrades. So let's start. First, let's create our coin. So this is the coin I created. To avoid the clipping issue, let's create an invisible square like this by holding the shift key and without any outline or fill. Make sure to center it like how you centered your coin. In the code, let's do when green flag clicked, go to x 0, y 0, then take a forever loop, check if then else, if touching mouse pointer, change size by 120 minus size divided by 2, put it here, and then duplicate it in the else statement, just put 100 minus size divided by 2. So this basically just gives it a nice hover effect. Then let's check if mouse down, let's just change size by 110 minus size divided by 2. So this also gives it a nice animation for the clicking effect. To avoid any clicking problems, let's just do wait until not mouse down. Then under that, let's just check if touching mouse pointer. Now let's create a new variable for the score, and then let's set it to 0 in the beginning and then change it by 1 under this if touching mouse pointer. And then let's also right click the score counter and change it to large readout and center it here. Now as you can see, we have a nice clicking effect without any problems, and our score is also increasing. Now let's add a shine effect. Now this step is optional. If you don't want a shine effect, you can skip to the next chapter. So now before we add the shine effect, let's just add a sky backdrop here, convert to bitmap, click the fill tool and then choose blue color and then just fill the canvas like. Now let's create a new sprite calling it shine, and then go to the coin costume, copy the coin image and then paste it in the shine sprite. Next take the rectangle tool, make a rectangle like this, center it and then click fill, go to the vertical gradient, make the first color as transparent and then the second color as white like this, then adjust it a little bit and then make it go above the center of the coin like this, and then duplicate it and make it to the opposite direction of the first shine. I'm going to make it flip vertical and then I'm going to make it go down, and then do the same for the right and left sides. I'm just going to select these two sides and then I'm going to copy paste them. I'm going to center them back and then I'm going to hold the shift key and then just change the direction. Like, also make sure your shine is centered like this. Now we can go ahead and delete the coin image like this, and now duplicate the entire shine again and just change its direction, and now you have a shine effect like this. So for the coding, let's just do when green flag click, go to back layer, take a forever loop and then go to coin. Also make sure to turn 5 degrees inside the forever loop. So as you can see, we have a nice shine effect like this. Now before we continue, let's add a glide effect to our coin. So let's create a new variable called glide. Then when green flag clicked, let's set glide to 0, then take a forever loop, change glide by 11, then change y by cosine of glide. Now you can see we have a nice glide effect here. Now let's create a new sprite for the upgrades, and now let's make each upgrade in separate costumes. So this is my first upgrade, I've mentioned the cost here, and this is my second upgrade, I've increased the cost right over here. Now let's create two new variables, one called MPS and one called MPC. MPC is the amount of money we get per click, while MPS is the amount of money we get per second. With upgrades, you can upgrade the values in these variables. So when green flag click, let's set MPC to 1, set MPS to 0. In the coin sprite, let's change score by MPC and then do when green flag click forever. Wait 1 second, change score by MPS. Now in the upgrade sprite, let's just go to X minus 205 and then Y minus 145. Now let's create a new block called setup upgrades and then add an input called number of upgrades. Click OK. Now drag the setup upgrades block and type in the amount of upgrades you have. In this case we have 2 upgrades, and under the setup upgrades block we'll just create a new variable called upgrade ID and then make it for this sprite only. First let's set upgrade ID to 0, switch costume to 1, show, repeat number of upgrades, change upgrade ID by 1, create clone of myself, next costume, and then for the spacing of the upgrades just change X by 65, and then at the end let's just hide. So this basically creates all the upgrades using clones, and each upgrade has its own identity using this upgrade ID variable. Now as you can see, our upgrades have been created right over here. Now let's create a new block again, this time called upgrade, and then add an input called ID, a label called cost, and then an input called cost, another label called MPC, an input called MPC, a label called MPS, an input for the MPS, and then a last label called dialog, and then an input called dialog. Click OK. Now drag this when I start as a clone block, then drag this upgrade block, and for the first upgrade I'm going to write upgrade 1 here, and then the cost will be 50, and then the MPC will be changed by 1, MPS will be changed by 0, and then the dialog will be +1 click range. So the dialog is basically what it will tell when we hover on it. Now for the second upgrade, I'm just going to write upgrade 2, cost will be 100, then the money per click will be 0, and then the money per second will be 2, like 2 is added to the money per second, and then in the dialog we're going to write +2 per second. Now under this upgrade block, we're going to do if upgrade ID is equal to ID forever, if touching mouse pointer change size by 120 minus size divided by 2, and then duplicate it, and in the else statement let's write 100 minus size divided by 2. Then we'll check if mouse down, wait until not mouse down, if touching mouse pointer change size by 110 minus size divided by 2, and then we'll check if we are eligible to get the upgrade. So first we'll check if score is greater than cost minus 1, then change score by cost into -1, and then we'll change MPC by MPC, and then MPS by MPS. Also, if touching mouse pointer, let's just say dialog, and then in the else statement let's just say nothing, so we'll just say blank. And now as you can see, our upgrades are working. If we get to something more than 50, we can buy this upgrade and our click range increases, and if we get to something more than 100, we can upgrade to this, and our per second range also increases. Now if you want to add more upgrades, all you need to do is create a new costume and then just make the upgrade first. So this is just a sample upgrade, and then I'm going to change the cost to something like 200, and then in the code you can just increase the value of the setup upgrades. So I have 3 upgrades, I'm going to put 3 here, and then for this upgrade block we're going to write upgrade 3, which means our third upgrade. The cost will be 200, the money per click will be 0, money per second will increase it by 5, and then the dialog will say +5 per second. And now as you can see, that upgrade has been created. And that's how to create a clicker game in Scratch. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. There are many ways you can improve this game. One is by adding a number counter, or you can add a particle system for your coin. Thank you guys for watching.